going through a bout of depression again. Per usual, it comes with the seasons. And I just don't feel like my therapist understands me when I'm going through these bouts of depression. I had a therapy appointment this morning at 8 a.m. It was 9 a.m. 8:30. I forgot that quick. Trying to explain depression to somebody who does not have depression is kind of worthless. Don't waste your time. They'll never be able to put themselves in your shoes. You would think that somebody that works in the industry, though, would be understanding of what depression is, but that's just not the case with some therapists. I'm finding that a lot of people in the medical field, despite the fact that they went to medical school, they don't have a clear picture of how things should be done. I mean, for God's sakes, I sat in a room full of 7 doctors and they told me to take Xanax. That tells you all you need to know. Big Pharma has taken over. The DSM has been thrown out. And now we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of medical professionals who don't know how to do their jobs. And I know that they're doing what their higher-ups tell them to do. I get it. But if you know that I don't like medication, if you know that I am against medication, why would you try to give me Xanax? Like, that's so dangerous, especially with me being in recovery. Most addicts would have taken that medication, got high, and been right back out on the streets getting high with heroin. It can absolutely cause you to relapse mental health medication. And Xanax is not a mental health drug. Xanax is the devil. Plain and simple. They can approve it by the FDA. They can stick a label on it and say it's whatever they want to call it. But at the end of the day, Xanax is the devil. I do not believe that it helps anyone. I think that it brainwashes people into thinking that they're getting help because they're high. So they feel like they're getting help because they're high. Alright, little guy, it's 55. Come on, motherfucker. Stephanie was talking about Xanax this morning. That's why I'm about to blow his doors off. Doors off. Around this corner. I would feel like an absolute piece of shit if I held somebody up. But that's because I have a conscience. Fun fact, a lot of people don't. Apparently, there's probably someone who doesn't know real talk and within the lines. So annoyed. Like, what is the purpose of having a phone if it's not going to work? I just got off the phone with Boost Mobile. They said that I can't even buy any more data. I'm allowed to buy data. Imagine being a phone company that does not sell data. So sick of everybody doing their job half-assed. All these companies we give our money to, they don't even fucking respect us. Look at how they treat us. Nobody knows how to do their damn job. The majority. It's no surprise. It's Boost Mobile. And that's one of the only phone services in this city. So people are like, why don't you go here? Because they don't cover this area, Karen. They don't even have places for you to go get service from them because they don't offer it in this area. This is a very, very, very small town. And regardless, it wouldn't work out here if I did go to a different town. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no towers, so it's not going to work. I'm so annoyed today. Between the cops and interviewers, I'm thoroughly convinced that I'm smarter than 90% of the people that I am interviewing with. The first question is, are you a felon? The next question is why? You don't ask 100 questions and then vet them to see if they're even eligible for the position. That's so ass backwards. I don't understand it, but people are getting dumber. They really are. Like this bitch in front of me that don't know how to drive. Get your blue canoe out of my way, please. Some of us have shit to do. I'm so hungry. I've not eaten today because I haven't had money. I don't have money. I'm going to spend my last $5 on a fucking burger that should only be $2. That shit pisses me off too. YouTube, of course. I'm going to lose my truck waiting on them. Will I even get money? Your guess is as good as mine. When you try to call somebody, there's nobody to talk to, honey. Nobody to talk to. And tell me why. I was commenting on a video of yet again another town that has been taken over by illegal immigration. There's multiple. It's not just one. There's dozens of them. This has been happening right under our nose. Right under our nose. Right beside us in the town over. Absolutely. And I mean, it just enrages me to know how much money has been spent while I am out here trying my damnedest to do everything that I can to just find a simple fucking job. And you know, every place I go to, I can't help but to notice. I can't help but to notice that the majority of the staff at the jobs that I'm applying for are immigrants. No English. 2 of them just this morning. I was one of maybe 5 or 6, she said, that spoke English. That was one of the questions. Are you going to have a problem trying to work with coworkers that don't... Are you fucking serious right now? That's what I wanted to say. Is this a fucking joke? But I didn't. We're working with them to help them understand the keyboard, how to ring up stuff. She said that 3 of them are busboys that do tables. So I don't know. I mean, we wouldn't have much conversation other than if something was getting cleaned up, like I needed a table bus, and I was like, hey, there's a family over here waiting. Can you get that table clean so that I can seat them? That's the only thing I can think of that we would really be talking. But like, how are you making that work? If you have bartenders that don't speak English in a Buffalo Wild Wings, how are you making that work? How? I don't know. But I do know that I want to ask the questions. I have so many that I'm not allowed to ask. It's absolutely preposterous. Yes, sir. Can I please get a small burger out west style?
Absolutely. Would you like cheese?
No, thank you.
Alrighty, what else for you today?
That'll be it.
Alright, 426. I'll put you at the window.
Thank you. See how nice they are, Wayne? Everybody like that. So this other place is a tire place, and he says that he has somebody that works on the cars, but he has to get a third party to intervene and talk to the guy. He wouldn't hire me for the front desk. I wanted a receptionist position. Like, I mean, I would have changed oil and tires too, but they're not going to hire me for that. I've already noticed that they're prejudiced against me because I'm a female. Absolutely, 100% because I'm a female. Hello. Thank you. Good.
There you go.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you too.
Awesome. 426. And I told y'all that the clubs were taken over. All of the strip clubs are filled with immigrants. All of them. All of them. Even the brand new fancy $1 million club down in Raleigh, North Carolina, the Cheetah Club that they just built. Even that one, 90% are immigrants. Charleston, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida. I've been there. I've been to the clubs. It's all immigrants. And something that's kind of basic knowledge is that a lot of those girls that are coming from... Oh my fucking God, this goddamn idiot. You're a goddamn idiot. You're a fucking idiot! No turn signal in the middle of the turning lane. I'm trying to come out and he's just la 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 la. I have no life. Let me hold up traffic and create an accident. Fucking stupid people. Not paying a damn lick of sense. A lot of the girls that are immigrants that come here into the strip clubs have been prostituting since they were in their early teen years. It's a fact. They'll do almost anything for next to nothing. Once again, if you don't sell your ass, you are not going to make money because all the immigrants do. This has been a problem since Florida. It started during when we had all of the immigrants immigrate here from Cuba. When, what was his name? Fidel Castro. Whatever happened back then, I wasn't alive. But when they immigrated here, they went to southern Florida. So I worked at Booty Trap. I know what goes on at Booty Trap. I saw girls give blowjobs and have sex with customers when I worked there. I stopped working there because I found out it was a brothel. That was in 2016 or 17. So it was bad then. Then, slowly but surely, I saw it start to creep up. The prostitution, the migration, they started to creep up. Well, hell, now they're in South Carolina and North Carolina doing the same shit that they were doing in Florida 10 years ago. It's a fact. I don't make the rules. It's a fact. It's really starting to piss me off that I'm going into these. I'm wasting my money. Speaking of which, I had to fill my gas tank back up this morning. I've filled my tank twice in 2 days. And people are like, how are you broke? Bitch, I spend $500 a week looking for a fucking job. People are just so stupid. This has got onion. It's my favorite one. Onion, pickle, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, bacon, and a burger. So hungry. I'm literally shaking because my sugar level's low. These pants are way too big. They have a whole kangaroo pouch. Where's my computer? So then, I posted one clip. And y'all started posting other cities. So then I went and started doing some digging. And sure enough, it's not just Springfield. We're talking of dozens of cities across the United States. And matter of fact, Minnesota in particular is pretty much the Middle East from what I'm hearing. The majority of Dearborn, Minnesota, the majority are immigrants. Think about that for a minute. The majority are immigrants. 60% of the city is immigrants from the Middle East. Dearborn, is that the name of it? That's Dearborn. Is that what I said? Dearborn, Michigan has a history of immigration from Europe and the Middle East and is now home largest Arab American population in America. It's the Middle East on our own soil. Listen, in 2023, Dearborn became the first city in the United States with an Arab majority, with 55% of the population claiming Middle Eastern or North African ancestry. Dearborn also has the largest Muslim population in the United States. Here's the issue, y'all. Immigration is great until you get a group of immigrants together that they decide they're going to take over a town, and that spreads like wildfire. It's just crazy to me that this has been happening. And the media has covered it up. And if you try to say anything, if you say anything because your property taxes are raised, then they call you a racist. And this is unbelievable. And it's going to get worse under Kamala. That's what she wants to do. That's what they've been doing. Now, this was in April. This is a census report from the BBC, who, y'all, I hate the media. So it says, located just outside of Detroit, Dearborn offers travelers a unique chance to eat their way through the Middle East while exploring how Arab Americans have shaped the nation. So there was a huge immigration of Lebanese people in the 70s. And you know what's crazy is I have a friend of mine who's from Lebanon. She's, I guess, Lebanese American. Her father he immigrated here, and he had her with her mother who immigrated here. Here's the issue. Those Lebanese people that immigrated here in the 70s are nothing like the people who are immigrating here now. The people that we have immigrating here now are committing crimes, not following laws, and you best believe that a lot of them are going to attempt to vote. All that they need is an ID. We have no laws in place to prevent them from going to the polls. And matter of fact, we have clear-cut evidence. There's people being arrested all over the state of North Carolina for illegally voting during the 2020 election. Illegal immigrants that went and voted. They're being arrested in the state of North Carolina as we speak. So we know that people will go to the polls and attempt to vote if they have an ID because they've already done it. It's not rocket science. That's exactly why they were put here. This is exactly why they're being given money in places like Springfield. The Democratic Party is buying their votes by illegally bringing people here, giving them protected status, giving them a home, giving them work permits, giving them food, giving them EBT cash balances up to $30,000, let me tell you. And they make sure that they have an ID so that they can go vote. And I am dying to find a fucking job and go to school. And it is impossible for me to do that as an American citizen. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. So the majority of people here in the past 4 years, it went from a mainly diverse group of Americans to the majority of this city, Dearborn, being immigrants. We are literally biting the hand that feeds us by doing this. This is like so counterproductive to bring more people here to support when we're not even supporting the people that we have here who are struggling. This was posted on February 14th of 24. It says the first Arab American major city in the U.S. This was an article written about the fact. As of 2023, Dearborn, Michigan has become the largest city with the Arab majority in the U.S., with 55% claiming Middle Eastern or African roots. Here's the thing, though. That has since moved up to over 60%. Between April of 24 to now, that 55 went to 60. So that's how quick they're immigrating here. It's just crazy. They're not the only ones. I mean, there's dozens of them, y'all. And, this burger is good. So New York City has received more than 200,000 immigrants since 2022. They have received more than 200,000 since 2022. One of the largest metropolitan areas for immigrants, with 4.2 million, is Los Angeles. And those were immigrated between 2018 to 2022. So just in 6 years, 4 years, Brooke, just in 4 years, they had 4.2 million immigrants move to Los Angeles, immigrate to Los Angeles. Nobody think that that's nobody think that, you're not putting 2 and 2 together. Look at Los Angeles. Look at California. It's a mess. It's a mess. They defunded the police. Crime went up. They raised rent. People become homeless. They legalized drugs in Oregon. And look at Oregon. It's a shit show. People are dying everywhere. Opioid deaths have skyrocketed. All of these cities. It's no secret to me why they look like this and why they're having these issues. Chicago received about 40,000 immigrants since 22. And you best believe these numbers, you could probably double them. Denver received 40,000 in 22, and we know that Aurora is being torn to shreds. Aurora has had a whole apartment complexes taken over. The property manager couldn't even control the situation, and when the property manager went to the police asking for help, he was told to shut up. He was told to be quiet. He was told that he was lying. He was told, don't worry about it. And then surveillance footage of the TDA gang trying to break in somebody's house, kick the door down. That goes viral. And all of a sudden, now we know the truth about Aurora. Washington, I was just up there at the beginning of the year. It's a shit show. There are homeless people and drug addicts all over Union Station. While you are trying to take the Amtrak to your job every morning, you have to see drug addicts and homeless people on our nation's capital on the doorsteps. I have pictures of me in Washington beside the bell with 3 different homeless people cracked out, clearly on drugs. In the picture, Philadelphia, Boston, Springfield, and El Paso. These are just the ones listed that are having immigration problems, and you best believe that it's more than that. The media does not want us to know about this. They want us to shut up. So it says that 20 metro areas are home to 6 in 10 unauthorized U.S. immigrants in the U.S. So that's illegal. There's a small map here. Philadelphia, the bell is cracked. Let's see here. So here is This is my job. Go suck a dick, dude. Stop crying. So of course California could just wash off into the damn ocean and we wouldn't even notice because that's how bad the city is. It would probably do us a service. Boston, New York, DC, Charlotte. I've noticed this. My rent went up. Remember, I was living in Charlotte in 2021 and my rent almost doubled. Atlanta, Miami, Houston, Dallas, Austin, which is surprising because Abbott, he doesn't really go for that stuff. He is not really a huge fan of immigration. He's actually been one of the most outspoken people. And he's stated that the taxpayers' money is being wasted on these people. That have no U.S. rights. We've got to stop with the handouts. And just because you make it over that border does not make you an American citizen. There's people in other countries that have been waiting years to immigrate here. They have did things the legal, the right way, and it is not fair to the people that want to come here to study abroad, the people that want to come here to go to our schools, the people that want to come here to open businesses. It is not fair to the immigrants that have worked their asses off to do this. And it's sure as hell not acceptable when we're talking about American families who are being displaced. People can't pay their bills. People are struggling, and I'm one of them, and it's not okay. It says most of the United States' 10.7 million unauthorized illegal immigrants live in just 20 major metropolitan areas, with the largest population in New York, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas. Those are the ones that we know about. I'm worried about the small towns. Hold on one second. It says, I'm worried about the small towns that the media doesn't want you to know about. The nation's unauthorized illegal immigrant population is highly concentrated, more so than the U.S. population overall. In 2016, the 20 metro areas with the most illegal immigrants were home to 6.5 million of them, or 61% of the estimated nationwide total. By contrast, only 37% of the total U.S. population lived in those metro areas. Five of the largest illegal immigrant populations are in California: Los Angeles, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Francisco, San Diego, and San Jose. And look at them now. Look at them now. Look how Gavin Newsom has ran that whole state into the ground. California, in my opinion, is a complete representation of what this entire country will look like unless we close that southern border. It's already starting to take place. Look at Springfield. Look at Springfield. People's insurance on their vehicles are skyrocketing because of all of the accidents going on. I saw a video yesterday with JRL Investigates. Go watch it. He went to Springfield, and what are the chances that he sees a Haitian get into a car accident with no tags on the car and the cop told him to leave? You can go see that video. You can see what is happening in Springfield. JRL went to Springfield and saw a car crash with an illegal immigrant. No tags on the car. If that was you or I, we would have went to jail. They would have towed our car. We would have been hit with some kind of citation for not having tags. Why is it okay for the immigrants to do it, but not us? I say we all take the damn tags off our car. Let's all go ride around without tags and see how they like it. They can't take us all to jail. I'm being facetious. Please don't do that. But y'all get my point. Like, it's crazy. And the cop in the video, you can see the cop saying, "Have a nice day." And you see the guy drive off still with no tags. And I got cops out here harassing me because I'm homeless. When I got interviews tomorrow and you're waking me up at 3 a.m. to tell me that I can't park in the Walmart parking lot, y'all. So it says, unauthorized, I hate that word, illegal immigrants have been remarkably consistent over the past decade. According to the center's analysis, now this is the census, the top 18 areas have ranked among the top 18 each year since 2005. And it's saying they're ranked the top for the most immigrants coming to that city to live in. And you know, a lot of these places like New York, California, they got money. A lot of the people there have money. So maybe it's not a big deal to them. If they want to give their resources to illegal immigration, by all means, do what you want. The issue I have is when you drop hundreds of thousands of immigrants into a city where people, A, are not expecting it, B, where people then, their jobs are getting taken, they can't find work because all of the illegal immigrants are taking that position in a certain field. It's not okay. It's not okay. And also, the people of Springfield have repeatedly voted red. Isn't it interesting how let's see here. It says Ohio is a red state in 24. It's complicated. No, they've historically been a red state. The only reason that they might not be is because they have tons of people who are going to vote blue in exchange for coming here illegally. And I'm allowed to have that opinion. It's for votes. They immigrated them for votes. The 2020 election, that was a test trial. It was. It was. And it worked. It worked. They stole an election. I need a napkin. I smell like onions. That was really good. I ate like a savage. I want numbers. Ohio was the first state admitted under the Northwest Ordinance, entering the Union in March of 1803. It participated in its first election in 1804. Ohio has been a major battleground in recent elections due to the closeness of the vote and its wealth of electoral votes. This was particularly true in 2004, y'all, when the state put George W. Bush over the top in a close 2% victory over John Kerry. 2016 saw Donald Trump defeat Hillary Clinton by over 8 points, the largest here since 1988. Trump won over Joe Biden by a nearly identical amount in 2020. So, Donald Trump took Ohio in the 2020 election. That explains why they dropped them there, in my opinion. That's why they dropped them there, because it's a swing state, and they wanted to make sure that they could win it. Even if it meant putting the American people at financial risk, even if it means you potentially becoming homeless. That doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is getting that state to flip blue. I need a toothpicker. I got a burger in my teeth. The Buckeye State has proved itself to be a remarkably good presidential bellwether. Although the 13th election streak of sliding with the winner was broken in 2020, Ohio has been growing more slowly than the rest of the country and has lost about 1/3 of its electoral vote clout since the 1960s. It will lose an additional electoral vote in 2024. Huh. Look at these numbers. Hello, Emily. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry if all of my girlfriends I've missed y'all. Oh, sorry, Vanessa. I don't like when fans are rude. You're allowed to be a fan, but you're not allowed to come here and run your mouth and be disrespectful. Oh, thank you. Mr. Brooks, that's what it looks like. Who it is. Oh my God. Come on, phone. Work. It's telling me that it's unable to load the menu. Why? I'm so sick of YouTube, y'all. Like, already, it ain't even been a year and I'm over it. They censor everything I say. Half the time, like, I'm trying to click and block people and it won't even let me. It just says unable to load menu. Please try again. Unbelievable. Anyways, 2020, he took Donald Trump. He won that state. And it looks like 2016 he did. 2012, Democrats won. 2008, the Democrats. So it has been consistently a swing state. However, the last two elections, though, the Republican Party took that state. So I have no doubt that those sent those people there to make sure that they don't win again in this coming election. Hold on, let me just show you. Hold on one second. Illegal immigrants. Arrested for illegally voting. I saw that they had arrested like 6 of them in my state. This is the stuff the media is not going to report on, though. But they don't want you to know. And it was the DOJ, the Department of Justice, that picked these people up. I can't get it out. Oh my God. Lord. The legal alien identified as Angelica Maria Francisco, 42, voted in the elections 2016, 2020, 2021, the Department of Justice said. Now, she was in Alabama. I've been seeing slowly but surely small little bits of information coming out about this. Of course, the media does not want you to know that this is happening. They don't want y'all to know the truth. That's why. But the truth is, as long as these people have an ID, they will be allowed to go vote. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no laws in place to ensure that it won't happen. I think there's been a few states. This article goes on the list, and you can go see it through the Department of Justice if you go through their site, the DOJ. This is actually through the Daily Signal. So if you want to go see this, it was just dropped December 12th. It talks about different people that were arrested dealing with different elections. I'm not reading this whole thing. I just want you to know some bits of information that you can find online to help you make your own decision about whether or not you believe they are going to allow illegal immigrants to vote. Now, I'm looking for the one. Here's another one. Ouch. 19 foreign nationals indicted for illegally voting. That was in North Carolina. That was in 2018. So it says 19 foreign nationals have been charged with voting in the 2016 election. They all ranged from 21 years of age to 72. The DOJ charged the illegal alien with identity theft, illegally and fraudulently obtaining the U.S. passport. The Attorney's General Office, let me read this. This is the Federation for American Immigration Reform. They have a list of people in here that you can go see were called illegally voting. Look at this. Debunking false claims that undocumented immigrants are voting. That aged horribly. That was just 2 weeks ago. They can, and they will. What law? I thought that there was a few states that were trying to pass voter laws. States passed to prevent voting. Illegal voting. This is from the Brennan Center for Justice, BRENNAN. Voting Laws Roundup, June of 23. State legislators have passed a new record number of new restrictive votes so far this year, while a pro-democracy movement presses on. But what? This was in 23. I thought that it was between... Okay. So it says between January 1st and May of 29 of 23, the following voting legislations has passed. At least 11 states enacted 13 restrictive laws. 2 more bills in 2 states were passed by both chambers of the legislature and are awaiting the governor's approval. Who is that? I wonder if I can click on. Oh, it has it listed out, but listen, I know criminal and custody law. I don't know what those are. It looks to be like the bill has the numbers. Let's see. So this was signed by the governor. This one is the legislation is categorized as restrictive. It contains one or more preventions that would make it harder for eligible Americans to register, stay on the voter rolls, or cast a ballot as compared to the existing state law. So this bill was passed, but it doesn't tell me the city or the state, of course. I'm so sick of fake news. They don't tell you need to know, what you want to know, what you should know. News is not news anymore. Even the way it's written, half the time, I'm not brilliant when it comes to English and writing, but I can tell you what, I do better than half some of these journalists I read. It's unbelievable sometimes the stuff I read. It says that 4 states enacted 5 election interference laws. That is why I posted that clip. If you saw that clip this morning with Joe Rogan about Mark Zuckerberg, apparently President Trump has said that when he's elected, that he is going after Zuckerberg because Zuckerberg feared in the 2020 election. Do y'all remember all of that? I don't remember much of it, but I do remember that the Hunter Biden laptop, they didn't want that information getting out. So, and we later found out that it was confirmed to be his laptop. We know everything that was on it was his laptop. But can you imagine how many people wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden if it would have been found out at that time that this whole family was... I do believe that if it was confirmed that it was his laptop, they might have swayed an election. But hell, I think at this point that they stole the damn thing. So it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I mean? It says an additional bill in Texas was passed by legislator and is awaiting the governor's signature. I'm sure that that was signed. When was this written? It was June of last year. So I'm sure that this is not even a revised version. There's probably, I'm looking for anything this year. I'm hot. So this was written January 4th of 24, and it says protecting the freedom to vote through State Voting Rights Act. It says, as state legislators convene in all 50 states to pass new laws, thousands of new elected lawmakers will have a chance to add their voices to the process. Hold on. This issue is particularly important. The past few years have seen a proliferation of anti-voter laws that disproportionately affect Black, Hispanic, Asian, and Native American voters. Voter laws? No. We're trying to ensure. I'm not reading the rest of this because I can already tell these people the woke mind virus has got to them. No, we're trying to ensure that our elections are fair. Nobody feels like it's fair anymore. Half the people feel like the 2020 election was stolen, and the other half are completely oblivious to what is going on before them. Like, we need to ensure when we go out to vote that our vote counts, that every single vote counts, and that they're alive. They're not deceased members of World War II, okay? Because we've had that happen. Not only that, we have council city members who were busted stuffing ballots with Democratic votes. Hundreds of them making trip after trip after trip to their car to grab laundry baskets full of fake Democratic votes. We have them on camera stuffing the ballot boxes. So we know that it was definitely influenced if it was not stolen. We have that evidence. And we're trying to ensure that it does not happen again. Why these laws are not already on the books, I'll never understand. But that's exactly why I'm wrapped up in this shit. Exactly why. Because it's things like that that make no sense. We should not be having issues in 2024 when it comes to our elections. We shouldn't be having any of the issues that we're having regardless when it comes to immigration, when it comes to inflation, when it comes to housing, when it comes to everything. I mean, name one good thing that's really going on right now. So there was something posted on Wikipedia this year. It says, let's see if they have something like, it's got it right here, the 2020s. Let's see if they've added something as of this year on Wikipedia. Hold on. That's another thing that's sketchy. These mail-in ballots. How many people think that that's okay? I mean, I understand that a lot of people are going to be old. They don't want to go. They can't drive. Like, I understand why we have the mail-in ballots, but I'm just saying that takes away a bit of our security with these mail-in ballots, because we don't, we have no way to guarantee the person that's mailing it back in was the person that filled out the ballot. And I just think that it adds a level of sketchiness to it all. I understand why we have it, though. And everybody should have, everybody deserves their right to vote. No doubt. So here we go. In late September of 23, ahead of the November election, 26,000 voter registrations were quietly canceled, drawing renewed criticism of the Republican Secretary of State for possibly voter suppression by not following the norm of alerting voter groups and by performing the cancellation so close to election. I find it interesting. They literally have, they like bookmark Ohio. They just threw that in there randomly. How weird. I'm not getting any information on new cities, new laws that have been passed, but I know that they were, let's see. So let's read the process of what you can do, how you can register to vote, because to register to vote in North Carolina, you must be a citizen. Citizenship documents are not required to vote. Was I? That says, yeah, you must be a citizen, but you don't have to have any citizenship papers to prove that you're an American citizen. This is under qualifications to vote. They're telling you citizenship documents are not required to register. It's unbelievable. Live in the county where you were registered at, have resided there for at least 30 days prior to the election. This is crazy. Why did they put that in there? You have to ask yourself why they put that in there. Why did they put that in there? Why was that necessary? Oh, they just got to let everybody know, right? They got to let all the illegal people that wants to vote know that they're not going to have to require any paperwork to register. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, North Carolina is not a sanctuary state. However, we operate as we absolutely do. Go to any Department of Social Services in the entire state of North Carolina. There's 100 counties. And I can promise you that every single county office is full of nothing but immigrants. I know because I was there. Been there for almost 2 years now. And we're also in the middle of a housing shortage. So we technically don't have anywhere for these people to live anyways. That is why the residents of Ohio have 50 people living in a small 3-bedroom house out there. And, people are finally starting to come out and talk about these things. And I'm so glad that they are, because there was one woman that posted a comment on my channel. She said that, or it might have been a guy, sorry. I can't remember their sex, but all I can remember is what they said and how I felt when I read what she wrote. She said that there are mass quantities of children that are completely disrespectful, that are all through the neighborhood. It used to be peace and quiet through there. Now the house beside her has 5 or 6 children. The other house beside her has 5 or 6 children. Every house full of immigrants is packed to the brim with immigrants. They're all housing together. And her neighborhood is run over. Nobody, here's the thing, when you're bringing these people here, they're not giving these people a lesson in etiquette and respect. They're not telling them, hey, when the sun goes down, it's a good idea to get your kids to come in the house so that they're not roaming the neighborhood, destroying stuff, dropping trash everywhere, causing problems. But they don't do that, and they don't tell them, hey, this is the proper steps to get your license. They just give them money, and then they're going to buy cars without licenses, without license plates, and they're riding around killing people. Absolutely are killing people. There's been 3 or 4 citizens that have been killed by Haitian people because they didn't know how to drive. One of them hit a school bus and killed a child. Imagine being a parent in Springfield. So as we just read, comes to my state, you do not have to prove that you are a citizen in order to vote. What's so crazy to me is that it's like one person came from like a certain country, like Lebanon. None of them came from Lebanon, and then all of a sudden, it's like 100,000 of them came from Lebanon. That is what we are seeing. So in Springfield, we have Lee over there, and then in Minnesota, in Dearborn, we have little Lebanon Do you see what I'm saying? And this is all over the country. Those are just a few examples. And in it, there's another one. Hold on one second. I'm looking for some information. I get ahead of myself. Americans, now a majority in Dearborn, as Middle Eastern Michiganders top 300,000 K. Some Redditor said, Josh Buttle, things are getting a bit heated here, folks. They turned the Catholic churches into mosque. So I find this interesting. Arabs, by vast majority, are great people. The Muslim religion hates gay people. Muslims in Hamtramck have banned the pride of city property, and Muslims in Canada are holding anti-LGBT protests. Muslims are typically less accepting of the LGBTQ people, the alphabet mafia, y'all. I find that interesting that they've tried to ban the pride flag in this city. Oh, that's the name of the city, by the way. I meant to say that. It's Hamtramck. I can't, y'all. Actually, I'm glad that I found that because I wanted to talk about that city in particular. Hamtramck. I can't say it. It's in Michigan. Wow, listen to this. So Hamtramck, Michigan, that's just what I'm going to call it because I don't know how to say it. A city known for its large immigration population, Hamtramck was reportedly the first Muslim-majority city in the United States and also made headlines as the first city with an all-Muslim city council. Some in the community are now expressing shock that the Democratic mayor is officially President Donald Trump. So it looks like the mayor, who is Muslim, by the way, is endorsing Donald Trump. Gee, I wonder why. Like, duh, who else would he endorse? They hate gays. Like, they do. They see it as an immortal sin. So, you know, it's so crazy to see how all of this everybody gets their hairs crossed. It reminds me of the Hamas situation with them hating gay people, but Yeah. They're out here protesting for people that would kill them. Can't fix stupid, So this mayor is an immigrant from Yemen. He became the city's first Muslim mayor when he was elected in 21. While in office, he made headlines banning pride flags from being flown over city property. I mean, I agree with it. At least he's doing good things. Look at this. I guess this was when he was his first term. So he says, his first term, Trump, banned immigration from Yemen. I'm from Yemen. The mayor's from Yemen, so I was surprised the mayor, was endorsing Trump. Okay, but you can't take that personal. It wasn't a shot at you, sir. That was a shot at protecting American citizens. Like, people take things personal, and you've got to stop doing that. Trump is not out to get you. Quite the opposite. So there's the mayor. That's the mayor of, how do you say it? Hamtramck? I don't know how to say it. Hamtramck? No, that's an M, Brooke. I want the truth. Please. Give me it. There's no information. It's just a bunch of kids that probably don't even live there running their damn mouth. So there was a rally in Dearborn. I remember that. They were chanting "Death to America." Y'all remember that? That was in Dearborn. They were chanting "Death to America." Let me find an article. This aggravates me. The weather is like messing up the Wi-Fi or something. It's because my Wi-Fi is off. No, I don't want to connect to the EBOS. I want to connect to McDonald's. Oh, they probably cut it off. It's a typical thing, They do it to me all the time. Imagine getting your schoolwork done and it being cut off on you. And then people are like, well, why don't you apply yourself? Bitch, I can't never find Wi-Fi. There's no library out here. It would cost me $30 to get to the library and back. But when they cut it off on me, I become petty and I end up staying half the day. So you're actually only causing yourself problems because I'm not leaving now. Not leaving. Yeah, so it's not even giving me an option to connect to the Wi-Fi. There's probably some loser in there that's watching me Everybody in this town knows exactly who I am. All of the gay people hate me because they're young gay people. Old gay people don't hate me. Old gay people love me. I have friends that are gay, and they respect me, and they respect the fact that I do not want to see children harmed, and they don't either. They're not brainwashed and too woke that their brain has fell out. But that is a lot of the younger generation. I don't think I've met anyone under the age of 30 recently that I could have a serious conversation with. They have no desire to have a conversation. Remember, I tried to talk to that one guy and he couldn't even form a thought. He does not have a girlfriend. Sir, you don't need a girlfriend. You need a therapist so you can learn how to talk. So it says, I was looking to see that they said death to America, and they were chanting it. It was a protest that they had in Dearborn. Is that the name of it? Dearborn. And they were all out there with Palestinian flags chanting death to America. So let's see. In 1967, Ohio was won by the Democratic Party. In 1980, the Republican. In 1984, the Republican. 84, the Republican. Then in 92 and 96, the Democratic Party. They have flip-flopped for years. It looks like there's been a war going on. I think that a lot of the older Democrats are unaware of the modern Democratic Party. I think that a lot of Democrats this year are now Republicans. They're switching sides because of how the Democratic Party have become delusional. I mean, they're destroying themselves. It's very clear to me that they're destroying this country from the inside out at the same time. They absolutely are. Mass immigration hurts the U.S. economy. It puts a strain when we already have people here who need houses, people here who have families who can't find housing and or can afford housing because it's so expensive. When you bring immigrants here, those resources that could have went to an American family are now going to immigrants who are not even American citizens. Not only is it ethically wrong, but it puts a strain economically on each city. This is, it's crazy to find out that also there's another city, Pennsylvania, that I read about that has essentially been taken over. One in Alabama, Minnesota, Michigan. These are some of the states where we're seeing high levels of illegal immigration impacting their state. And these are just a few. And I can promise you that if they rig this election like they did the 2020 election and they get this dumbass in office, she's going to continue migration. She's going to continue bringing illegals here to ensure that the Democratic Party can stay in office. This is what this is about. This is about vote. This is about bringing people here to complete a task. Help her complete a task. She doesn't care about these people. She doesn't care about you. The Biden administration never cared about you. And I think a lot of people that voted for Biden did so just because he was a Democrat. And they were a Democrat religiously. They have been. They've all voted Democrat. You've got to stop doing that because this is what happens. People get in position of power that should have never been there. Should have never been there. Yeah, so they definitely cut it off. You see right down here? You see it's not even giving me the option to go to McDonald's Wi-Fi. How am I supposed to get 8 classes worth of work done every day, Monday through Friday? And actually, I would be working. Oh, no, there it goes. Y'all, I was at this one place and saw the girl at Wi-Fi. I was at a Starbucks in South Carolina. It might have been Florida. And I kept seeing the girl peek her head out the window of the drive-thru. I realized that they had cut the Wi-Fi off and they were looking for my reaction. Imagine being Yeah. I mean, it's really sad to think that people would intentionally try to fuck with homeless people, but I'm here to tell you they do it because they're bullies. They do it because they think that homeless people are an easy target. I am not. I'll hunt your ass down and show the fuck up. Okay. Yep. Not anymore. Not anymore. We're not going to behave like that today. But I be wanting to. I be wanting to. So let's see, the governor voting history has been more Republican in Ohio than Democratic. This is the census, I do believe this was from the census. Yes, it's no, the numbers are from the census, but this is it's called the 270 to win. We've been here before. So it does have a census electoral map. Let me see if I can go to that. Yep. So it says this map tracks the consensus forecast for the 24 presidential election. It is it's a composite of ratings by several forecasters. Y'all, we all know that these numbers are a lie, right? I hope you do. If you don't, let me tell you, they're all a lie. Donald Trump has been in the lead and has stayed in the lead and is due to win this election. They just lie bad. They can do whatever they want. As long as they got a channel, they can lie. They can lie. Something is going on because now I just got an interruption from my phone. Now my phone is trying to say that I can't be on the Wi-Fi. I don't really understand much of this, honestly. Let's see. I'm assuming that the red is like, ain't it crazy though? Like, look at New York and California, of course, all of them. Seattle and all of that, of course. I just don't believe this. I think that New Mexico and Colorado will be voting red. The majority of the people in Aurora, you would think that after everything they've been through that they would vote Republican, but I hate to say it, a lot of them will still vote Democrat. They won't get it because they're not smart enough to get it, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. A lot of people, I posted clips of a woman yesterday, both of them did not know what the hell they were talking about. They were essentially saying that Trump said during the debate that you could kill a child after you gave to it. And these women wholeheartedly believed that's what he said, and he had nothing of it. You know what I mean? But that's what they heard because that's what they wanted to hear. So you can go find that short on here. It was two women who were trying to say that Trump wanted women to abort their baby after they gave birth to them. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? There it is. I don't know where that bear mace is, but I need it, you guys, because people have been weird out here today. I don't know what I did with it. Alright, I'm going to go back and see if I can find that one city in Pennsylvania to talk about. I'm going to the gym later, but these britches are so big. I got like a kangaroo pouch in them. You see how they like... Down, 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 down. It's like a banjo. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. I know the been a Cotton Joe. I got skinny a long time ago. My pants don't fit. They don't fit no more. My pants don't fit. They don't no more. Let's see. What was the name of the city? It's in Pennsylvania. I've been just... Thank you to all of the people that have been dropping Easter eggs on my channel. I know that you're censored. I have been censored. YouTube has said that I can't leave any comments for the next 10 hours. Yeah. I'm not allowed to comment on nothing. Because I talked about Springfield, which is, Tube said that I violated their hate speech and cyberbullying contract or whatever. They said that I violated the guidelines because I was talking about Springfield. you know what I said? A woman asked the question if it was true that Springfield, Ohio was taken over by immigrants. And I said, come to my channel. All of the evidence is here about Springfield. And YouTube blocked it 3 times. And then they blocked me from being able to comment for the next 11 hours. Make it make sense. And all I said, once again, going back to the Brodney James situation with the vaccine, all I said was, come to my channel. The evidence is here to know the truth. And YouTube says, oh, you're cyberling in a protected group. Who? The Haitians? I'm the fucking American. Who are you talking about? Oh, make it make sense. So sick of it. It's gonna get worse if we do not get people in office that actually care about us. And Trump has made it perfectly clear what his plans when it comes to immigration. Everyone deserves a shot at the American dream if they want it. But legally speaking, they have the right outlets to do that. You don't get to just climb over that damn wall, take a boat from Yemen, climb over the damn wall, and, oh, here you go, the American dream wrapped up in a package. Like, that is so unfair, especially to veterans who are out here sleeping in the streets, okay? And every major city is having a homeless problem because in every major city, we have a housing crisis. We don't have enough houses. Between 2000 and 2010, we were not building houses. And actually, the past 30 years, we have not been building houses on the magnitude that we used to build them. One of the reasons is because of construction costs, because of materials have skyrocketed, okay? So it costs more to build a house than it did 20, 30 years ago. And we were actually building houses left and right until the 2008 recession. I think the housing crash kind of put it to a halt, if I remember correctly. We can Google that. I don't know. Listen, I was working at a Sonic back then and also at a Longhorn and a Panera Bread. I wasn't really concerned about what was going on in the world, you know? I will tell you that illegal migration hurts communities in more than one way. More than one way. I mean, specifically in Ohio, we have Haitian grown-ass motherfucking man going to school with children. Ask yourself, would you want your daughter going to school with 22-year-old men? Because that's when they age out, apparently. 22. 20-year-old men can go to school with 14-year-old girls. Who thinks that that's okay? Because I don't. I don't think it's okay. Somebody left a comment talking about this. You can go see it on one of the Springfield, Ohio residents videos on the shorts. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the name of the city. Does anybody know the name of the city? I guess nobody's commenting because I don't have comments on my thing. They just disappear. My phone says that. My phone says that there's no comments and no people in the video. I don't know what's going on. By law, Philly hospitals now can't deport immigrant patients. Putting more of a financial strain on the healthcare systems. So this person is, let me just read you this. This person is saying that there was a whole bunch of people that immigrated to Pennsylvania. This was 7 months ago. Even if the 800 is undercounted, you could quadruple it and this would barely be an issue. 800 cases across the United States in a 6-year span, meaningless. I don't quite understand. I think that he's saying that they're lying because it says Putting more financial strain on healthcare systems is just going to result in further consolidation and reduce overall access. And they're talking about to medical care. Nothing is free. Someone has to pay for the services rendered. I had no idea hospitals support people. Me neither. What are they talking about? So it says legals, citizen immigrants can opt to have insurance and pay accordingly for the benefits we get. If a legal has no insurance, they will get a bill sent to them. Okay, that's just like an American. Whoa, so this Redditor went off. So why would they possibly want to pay when there's zero reason to just freeload off of do-gooders? This is the same as the idiots in New York handing out free food in hotels and money to people, then getting upset when none of the migrants want to fill out paperwork or volunteer to actually work for $15 an hour. I know someone from back home who visited the U.S. for a week and didn't pay a dime. He said it wasn't luxurious or as nice as you expect, but it saved him $400 a night. Say what you want about Fox News, but they are 100%. People are absolutely taking advantage of the situation, and now NYC is spending more on illegal immigrants than sanitation and fire prevention combined. Stop biting your lips. This was 10 months ago. It says officials in several areas have objected to the cost of accommodating migrant buses from our southern border. But Pittsburgh is setting out a welcome mat. Is that it? It was another one. Pittsburgh. So this was 2 months ago from the 2023 piece. If anything, more critical to address than ever. More crucial to address than ever. With the decline of downtown, more than half of downtown office space is empty in 4 years. They recently announced loss of tenant for the B&Y Mellon building. They're welcoming immigrants from anywhere, legal or illegal. So they're talking about, I don't know why people write the way that they do, you guys. That's literally how I wrote it. Pittsburgh's population crisis, what's your solution? And it says from 2023 piece, if anything more critical to address. See, it's not even written right, but whatever. Oh, here, let's read this. Butler Street in Pittsburgh, Lawrenceville neighborhood wears the face of a... Oh, it's talking about there's all these businesses, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. So Pittsburgh had a lot of old people. It said that from 1970 to 1990, a heavy concentration of older adults living in the neighborhood had turned Lawrenceville into the NORC, an acronym for a graphic phenomenon known as naturally occurring retirement community. The number of residents aged 65 or older had jumped from 13% of Lawrence population to more than 25%, which was twice the national average at the time. Then starting in 1990, the neighborhood steadily got younger. In 2001, my dyslexia. In 2021, less than 15% of the neighborhood's population was 65 or older. This is from the Census Bureau. So it was a bunch of old people. That's why they sent them there. Decades after the steel industry's collapse, which part of that affected Detroit, Michigan, the car industry. It says, after the steel industry's collapse, southwestern Pennsylvania still wrestles with the impact that the massive loss of steel jobs had on its population. 150,000 jobs evaporated between 1980 and 1999. Most were young adults who left in search of better economic opportunities, taking their future families with them and widening the gap between young and old in Pittsburgh. According to the U.S. Census, in 2021, Pittsburgh had the highest natural population loss, more deaths than births. So this is explaining to me, in my opinion, this is explaining why they picked Pittsburgh, just like they picked Michigan, okay? So parts of Michigan are affected as well. It used to be a booming area. There's buildings, there's old businesses. It's not, though. It's saying that most of Pittsburgh, a lot of Pittsburgh, 25% are aging people who are about to die. So that's not good for an economy when you have that many people old and not enough young people from other age demographics. You need a good collective of people of different ages, different backgrounds and all of that, of course, but one can only assume that maybe they picked that area because of Pittsburgh, because they have room, kind of, but also I'm wondering if it has to do with the age of everybody. I want to see. All right. So that was on the Reddit. I clicked on it and, it has a little bit of information, but it's more about everybody was old there and they're dying. So there's a person called Talon. He's from East Liberty. He says unemployment is peaked. It says office space in the city overall is about 20%, which is high, but isn't ludicrous. American average is 18%, and the BNY Melanie building is certainly big, but it's just one building. The problem we've had is twofold. A, we produce an enormous amount of college grads, but don't have any jobs for them because there's not enough entry-level jobs. The social scene for the last 20s is better elsewhere. So confusing. Couldn't you just say that we have people graduating and they can't find a damn job? The problem isn't we don't have enough people here. The problem is just we can't keep people here. There aren't enough jobs for them. So it sounds like there's not enough jobs in the part of the city. Well, let's see. In Pittsburgh, it sounds like there's not enough jobs as it is. You bring in a whole bunch of immigrants that are going to want to work. Where are they going to work? They're having housing issues. They're having job issues. They got students graduating from college. They can't find a damn job. But let's immigrate hundreds of thousands of people here so that we have to take care of them because we can't find a job. They can't find a job. My legs are going to sleep. So this is not happening in one city. The mass illegal immigration is happening in a lot of cities. And in my opinion, they did it for votes. Okay, hold on. There has not been a recent detail scene in Pittsburgh downtown since before I stopped working there 15 years ago, but that's pretty much every downtown now. The new Target joke, and they shouldn't have even bothered. So we all know that crime, a lot of Targets are shutting down because of the theft that's going on. So here's a Redditor that says a high percentage of old people will die at a faster rate than younger people, while the rest of the country will experience a large increase in elderly population. Pittsburgh will experience a growing population base basically composed of younger people. Pittsburgh lost a generation and a half of population growth, and once the older generation dies off, population will start growing again. I was looking for immigration problems, and then this is... Wow, so this says, new immigrants moving to Pittsburgh, is it a good idea? So they're saying that the big problem that they're facing right now is finding housing. It says that you can move to Pittsburgh, but you're going to have a really hard time finding somewhere to house yourself. Rents are through the roof. A one-bedroom place for $1,200 a month. So this Redditor says, you're the one telling this guy to move his family without thinking of the basic problems they'll face in securing housing first. Those thousands of international kids, mostly students, come with what's called an I-20 form for exchange students or visitor status. It signifies that they have ample funds to live in the U.S. with permission from the government. It also recognizes a time frame when this status ends. It says they're going to ask for proof of income gross. It's X amount, the times of cost of rent, a credit check, a reference, or maybe a cosigner. I mean, and that's typical, but apparently there was the lady telling somebody that they could immigrate to Pittsburgh, and this guy says it's not that easy. We're having housing problems. We're having job problems. The economy is suffering in Pittsburgh. So it says City of Pittsburgh preparing for asylum seekers to. This was in last year in 23. There was an article written. So it says their asylum seekers are probably not going straight to Pittsburgh for it. Hold on. Never mind. There are pathways for people who have not been granted asylum to seek employment authorization. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get an interview for you to get a work permit. Interesting. You know, there's this modern misconception that these people want to come here and work jobs that Americans don't want to work. But here's the thing. I'll work any job. Nowhere will hire me because nowhere is hiring. Everywhere is laying off. There's more layoffs that just happened yesterday. I'll just count. Since January 1st, they've announced 5,400 different companies that have announced massive layoffs. An additional 3,700 from January 1st of 24 till August 13th. So we've had, I'll show it to you. So we've had almost 5,400 since January 1st. And then an additional as of August 13th of 24. So we have more companies laying off than we have opening up businesses. In my opinion, I think that this is going to be a really big problem. Also, September 18th, there was layoffs at the Children's and Education Department for the BBC. September 17th, Adidas bans sports ad developers. Almost 170 employees laid off. Udemy, Udemy, they cut 140 jobs September 16th. September 14th, another company cut 2,000 jobs. September 13th, Verizon cut nearly 5,000 employees. These are all just this month. That's what? 175, 6... like 7,500 jobs almost right there in that one little good go city. 20, UPS dropped 12, Sam's Club dropped 11. These are all people that are being employers. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people are being laid off. So not only do we have a housing crisis, but in my opinion, we're in the middle of a job shortage. And new jobs are not being added to the economy. Huge problem. And then we have people immigrating. Where are they going to work? Where are they going to live? It's crazy to see that that's been going. Like, I knew that the southern border was open, but I did not know that there was mass quantities of people, specifically from certain countries, going to certain parts of the United States to turn that into their country. But it seems like that is what's happening. It seems like that a lot of Americans are being displaced by immigrations. It seems like their jobs are taken by illegal immigration. We're going to be seeing the consequences of this administration's actions for decades. This is not something that goes away overnight. These people, in my opinion, are here to stay. And maybe half of should be allowed to stay. But the other half, who are part of a street gang who is here to harm and kill and destroy people, they need to be sent back to wherever they come. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? Like, you can't come here and break the law and just think that we're not going to do anything about it. The Democratic Party they won't do anything. But I'm hoping that Trump gets in there and keeps his word and sends these people back to where they came from. Now, a lot of them came from the Venezuelan prison that got shut down in Venezuela. So, people that are known criminals, gang affiliated, they need to be out of here. I don't know why we're even allowing these people in our country. We've had millions of contact with known gang members that they just let go. And now they don't know where they are. They don't know where they are. So, this is a problem. I feel sorry for the residents of Pittsburgh. I feel sorry people of Springfield, Ohio, the people in Dearborn, Michigan. All of these little cities that we are finding out have been completely overrun with illegal migration. And also their resources, their jobs, and their housings have been affected by this. It's not okay. And also, Australia, UK, these are also places that's being affected by immigration. It's a worldwide problem right now. And we need to make sure that this does not happen again. Because at the end of the day, we are Americans, and we should feel safe on our own soil. I should not be worried about if, somebody's going to kill me or try to break into my car. But time and time again, I have to worry about things because I'm in a city where there is that action going on. Y'all know that I've had a huge problem with men, perverted men. A few of those were clearly immigrants, drunk, stumbling down the road, trying to holler at me. Weird, but it's a problem, and it's going to continue to be a problem. And I've personally experienced job replacement, especially when it comes to the clubs. The clubs are overridden. They're being ran by women from third world countries. And a lot of those women were prostitutes back home. And so they come here and they do the same thing that they were doing in Colombia for the same damn amount. It's crazy, I know, but just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean that there's not people doing it. You know what I mean? There absolutely is. And, y'all, I'm thinking about changing my talk at 2 to a later time in the afternoons where people are not working and they can come and join us. I feel like if I can move it to a time at night where people are off of work, it would be more beneficial for the channel. I've been thinking about it. I'm not going to do it yet, but it has been on my mind. Or maybe like do one at 2 and then do another one at 7. But I would hate to do that because y'all know how difficult it is for me to learn things. Certain things I'm a sponge, and then certain things memory. When I'm under high amounts of stress, I can't think. And it's been very difficult for me to learn things, but I'm so glad that I've forced myself to learn about these issues like immigration. I'm glad that I forced myself to get involved in these things because that's the only way that change is going to come about. Getting smart, getting educated, learning about these things, doing these deep dives is what's going to help you understand these things. I've learned a hell of a lot in the past 6 months than I think that I learned in my entire life. And it's definitely from you guys' help, leaving me Easter eggs. Thank y'all so much for not being scared to speak out about what's happening. I understand that most of you have careers and you can't put your career in jeopardy talking about certain things. I get it. I absolutely get it. And it should not be that way. If you want to talk about something, you should not be prosecuted because you want to talk about something. It's wrong. Why can the LGBTQ plus fly their flags around, shoot sparkles out of their ass, have their balls hanging out at Olympic sporting events, but you can't say immigration's affecting my life? I feel like immigration is going to affect me. Like, why can't you say that? But it's okay for all of these people to blatantly break the law, harm children, lie, distort the media. We're going to look back on this and we're going to be like, oh my God, was that not crazy? 2020 was by far, we thought 2020 was crazy. Joe Biden said, hold my beer. He said, hold my beer and watch what I can do. We thought 2020 was the worst of it, honey. Look at us now. We thought 2020 was the worst of it. And Joe Biden said, hold my damn beer and watch this. So, that it's only going to get worse if Kamala stays in. There is no hope for this country if Kamala gets in. They are looking to control, and they want to have power over you, your family, and your life. They do not care about you. The left has lost their minds. I do believe there was a time where the Democratic Party had some sense. That is not today. Okay? They've lost it. They've lost it. And I'm so proud of my friends that choose to vote Republican. Here's the thing. A lot of people get hung up on this abortion issue. That is one small issue out of hundreds of issues that we have. If abortion is what is keeping you from not voting for Trump, I would beg you to plead for Trump, because that one small issue should not hinder you from having all of the other issues fixed. You know, and this whole issue with, I'm pro-life. I have not always been that way. I actually started realizing a few weeks ago how I feel about the situation. I do not believe that abortions should be legal. The only way that they should be necessary is if it's medically necessary. Abortions are not contraception. Okay, you don't get to go continue to get knocked up and have abortion after abortion, and that's your form of birth control. That is murder. You are a murderer. You are going to burn in hell. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I feel like a lot of people get hung up on this abortion thing. Here's the thing. There's going to come a time where abortion is legal again. No doubt. Because the Democrats are like dead set on killing a nation of people. Let me tell you. They are so ready for mass genocide to take place. They want you and your unborn child to die. It's the truth. And there's going to come a day where abortion is legal. And, you know, I hate that for all of these babies. 73 million yearly that are aborted. 73 million babies are killed worldwide every year from abortion. You know, these babies, they're the innocent victims in all of this, and it is not their fault that their parents are idiots. Plain and simple. You know, it's crazy. I started looking into abortion statistics, and that's what changed my heart. It changed my heart. It's so wrong. And I beg of you not to let abortion hold you up from voting for the only person that's going to fix this situation. Your only hope, and he's the only one that cares about the American people, in my opinion. We have other great people who are on the right, of course. But when it comes to the Democratic Party, that party, they can't be saved. And if you're still part of that party in 2024, that you're probably blatantly evil. That's the only logical explanation. I mean, you have to be. To not see what they are doing, you have to be a blind man. And even a blind man could see what they're doing. They have efficiently killed the lower to middle class, and that's what they've been trying to do. They want there to be elites, and they want there to be poor people. That way, you go to them with your hand out asking, can I have some food? Can I have a house? Can I have some medical care? That's what they want, and they've successfully killed a lot of the middle. They've successfully took the middle class to the lower class, without a doubt. We have people that were living comfortably before COVID who are now homeless, and they've been completely displaced because of mass illegal immigration. We don't have enough houses. We don't have enough jobs. Plain and simple. Why do we continue to bring millions of people here when our own citizens, our own veterans are not being taken care of? It's not fair, and it'll never be fair. And I talk about these things because I was blind for many years, and I was part of the Democratic Party. I was marching BLM. I was so lost, and I regret all of that now. And I see God making positive steps in my life. And by opening my eyes to these things, such as abortion, 73 million babies worldwide. It's unacceptable. That is mass genocide, for God's sakes. 70 million babies yearly. I will never believe in abortion again, and I do not think that it is any form of birth control. I think that you are an irresponsible person if you get out here and lie down with somebody and you don't take necessary steps to protect yourself and prevent a baby being born. You do not then get to go and get an abortion. It doesn't work like that. You ought to be in jail. Especially if you've had 12, 13, 14 abortions like we see. And the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. But I would beg of you to not let abortion sway you from voting for Trump. Because I've talked to a lot of people, and abortion is like the one thing they keep talking about. Like, sir, does abortion policy, is that going to help you feed yourself and pay your bills? I'm wondering if anything to do with abortion is really going to impact your life. But, you know, so many people get hung up on that. So, it's my body, I deserve what doing. Yeah, maybe we're enough to make those decisions. How about wait until 32 when you're fully mature? Stop knocked up having an abortion at 18, and then another one at 21, and then another one at 25, and then 2 more when you're 28. Because this is what we see. Statistically speaking, it's the same people behaving the same way. So, that is what we see statistically. If they get 1, they're more likely to get 2. If they get 2, they're more likely to get 4. It's just how it works. And it's messed up. It's absolutely messed up. And one day we are going to talk about my own story about this, because I've personally been through this. But I can't talk about that right now. So, we'll talk about it one day. But just know that I used to be completely brainwashed into wokeism to the point that I have sinned. And I've committed crime against myself that and my unborn child. Because I thought that that was the right thing to do. I thought that that was the only way out. And it's fucked up to see how easily influenced was in my 20s. But this is part of the reason that I stay away from people now, because I recognize how being emotionally attached to people can brainwash you. You know, be careful who you surround yourself with, because you're allowing them access to your mind, your body, and your spirit. And it only takes one bad apple to make the whole bunch go bad. I love you guys. Please pray for me. We'll talk soon. Pray for me, because God knows I need it. And I'm praying for you guys. I hope y'all have a great afternoon. We'll talk on the next one.